Welcome to the ultimate data showdown. This is Iron Viz. Hundreds of data whizzes from around the world competed to be here, and the stakes are high for the three finalists at the top of their game as they prepare to push themselves to creative extremes. How will they be judged? On three criteria: design, storytelling, and analysis. Sparks and insights will fly as they furiously race the clock and go dashboard to be crowned best in Viz. Who will win bragging rights? Stay tuned to find out.
Hello and welcome to Iron Viz 2025. Please welcome to the stage your host for the event, Archana Ganeshalingam and Andy Kochgreave.
Hello, everybody! Oh, it is so good to be here. Thanks for coming. Now, it's so good to be here, but Archana, you look absolutely on fire.
Thank you so much, Andy. I took a little bit of inspiration from the Tableau Next color palette and the bubbles we've been seeing all over the conference center this week.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I've gone for OG red and orange and blue Tableau color palette. And thank you. But we were thinking backstage, I was like, have I got the best costume or has Archana got the best costume? And we wanted to do a bit of a data set. So if you think I've got the best costume, bam, bam, energy. Oh, what? Are you corrupting the data set?
Dirty data.
Dirty data. All right. If you think Archana's got the best costume, let's see. I don't think the data lies. Now, it's not just about the wardrobe this hour, is it? We've actually got a job to do, right?
We have
Let's do
indeed.
it.
And we've not yet introduced ourselves to this incredible audience. Hello, everyone. My name is Archana Ganeshalingam. I've been with Tableau for 8 years, and this is my third time hosting Iron Viz with my trusty partner in crime.
I'm Andy Kochgreave, Senior Data Evangelist at Tableau. I joined in 2011, and I've lost count of Iron Viz's. Mark says this is my 8th time hosting Iron Viz. It's great to be back. I want to know who is ready for 100% human intelligence.
On this stage, AI stands for amazing individuals.
And?
That's right.
And the only digital labor you're going to see for the next hour is the countdown clock. That's right.
It's
2025, and this is Iron Viz! Woo!
Now, for any first-timers in the audience, Iron Viz is the ultimate data visualization competition. 3 incredible contestants will take to the stage today to build the most compelling data viz they can in just 20 minutes. Then they'll have 3 minutes to present their data story to our panel of esteemed judges who'll be rating them on analysis, design, and storytelling.
Yep, and each contestant gets to work with the same data set. This year, we've got the Federal Aviation Authority Wildlife Strikes data set, which is an amazing data set for Tableau, but also a really important data set. They've been recording wildlife strikes on planes since 1990, and it's really important to keep aviation safe and minimize damage to wildlife.
And our contestants have had access to this data set for 1 month in order to prepare and practice what they'll be presenting on stage today.
Yeah, and we've got a big prize pot today as well. The runners-up will each get $6,000 cash prize and $6,000 donation matched to the charity of their choice.
And our winner will take home $15,000 in prize money, plus $11,000 donation to the charity of their choice.
But I think, oh, no. More than that. The winner gets to take home the ultimate piece of shelf candy, the coveted Iron Viz trophy. That's what the, yeah.
And it's not just our judges who'll be making the decision today. All of you, whether you're right here in San Diego or watching at home on Salesforce Plus, will be able to weigh in on the fan favorite.
Yeah, and we'll give you all the instructions on fan favorite a little bit later.
Now, I think it's time we meet our contestants. The 3 contestants that will be taking to the stage today entered a qualifier contest late last year to earn their place on the Iron Viz stage.
Yeah, first up, let's meet Ryan from Canada.
My name is Ryan Suarez, and I'm from Ajax, Ontario, which is in Canada. Ajax is a short train ride from downtown Toronto, and that's where I work and like to go to have fun. When I found out I was a finalist, it was a feeling of disbelief. I've participated in Iron Viz 5 times. I've been in the top 10 twice. I've been in the crowd the last 2 years where you are excited to watch Iron Viz. So to realize I'm finally going to be on stage was an amazing feeling. I'm going to donate to Doctors Without Borders. I think there's a lot of people who are affected by conflict in the world, and this charity helps people get the support and the help that they need. I'm representing everyone who's supported me in my Tableau journey over the years. Everyone from the community who's helped me, specifically the Canada and Toronto data fan. Everything is at stake for me today. I feel like all of the work that I've done over the last 8 years has been building up to this moment. All of the late nights, all of the visualizations, all of the workbooks. So I want what I bring today to be the best one yet.
Give it up, everybody, for Ryan Suarez! Ryan, how are you feeling, my friend?
I'm excited. I'm ready for takeoff, Andy.
Nice one. Next up, from Scotland, is Katherine McCindle.
Hi, I'm Katherine McCindle. I'm from Scotland, but I've been living in Brussels, Belgium for the past 6 years, and I'm loving it here. Brussels is beautiful. It's a very green city with a lot of parks to explore, and the architecture is just stunning. I don't think I'll ever walk into Grand Place and not be amazed. I've been using Tableau for 7 years, and my favourite features are parameters and dynamic zone visibility. This is my workstation here. This nice picture from my company that inspires me to keep going. I got engaged at the end of last year, and the wedding will be at the end of this year, so a lot of my time right now is spent planning this wedding. Weddings are expensive, so this prize money has come at the ideal time. If I win and get the 15,000, then it just means an even more amazing wedding. I chose Doctors Without Borders because they go where help is needed the most without politics or barriers. Supporting them means backing real hands-on care for people in crisis. I have the pleasure today of representing 2 countries, Scotland and Belgium, and also my friends, family and colleagues who've all been very supportive throughout this whole process. Winning would mean the world to me, but being in the top 3 is already a dream come true.
Now, Katherine, are you excited to be on the Iron Viz stage?
Flying high.
All right, amazing. And contestant number 3, let's meet Bo from Texas.
Hi, y'all. I'm Bo McCready, and I'm joining you from Austin, Texas. Being in Iron Viz is a dream come true, and after taking some time to celebrate, it was time to get to work here, in my office.
Some people wonder if prepping for Iron Viz takes all your time. But no, I took breaks to do lots of my favorite things, like
Eating breakfast tacos, riding my longboard, eating lunch tacos, getting new tattoos, and eating dinner tacos. For my charity, I've selected Girls Who Code. It's an organization that reflects my values, and I hope my daughters and their generation can grow up in a world where nobody feels like their options are limited because of their identity. I'm in the Iron Viz finals after my 7th entry, so I'd like to think I'm representing anyone who has an old dream that hasn't come true but isn't quite ready to give up yet.
winning would be the culmination of so many hours and years of hard work. It'd be the professional honor of a lifetime to become part of the club of Iron Viz winners that includes so many of my inspirations and data heroes. A lot of them are in the room today watching this video, and I hope I make them proud.
Bo, are you ready?
Andy, clearly not. Andy, I'm buckled in, I'm ready to fly, but my laptop is not put away because I'm gonna need it.
Now that we've met our captains, every captain needs a reliable wing woman. This is where our Suarez's come in. They bring the product expertise, advice, and support that our contestants need to shine on stage.
Yep, they are all proud and amazing members of our Tableau solution engineering team. They know Tableau inside out, and they're going to be here giving us the live commentary during the 20-minute build while the contestants do their work.
So first up, supporting Team Bo is Clara Wu.
And for Morag Dean, for Katherine, we have Morag Dean.
And finally, for Team Ryan is Brianna Fritz.
All right. We have contestants, we have Suarez. Let's get to it. The clock is set.
Contestants, are you ready for the ultimate Viz showdown?
All right, audience, I need you all to bring the energy and count down with us as we go from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, Viz! Oh. Can I relax now?
No, we've not yet introduced the rest of our cast.
Okay. Energy for another 40 minutes. All right. Oh, yeah, the judges. Hello, judges. How are you doing? Please, everybody, welcome the judges. We have on the left 2024 winner. Oh, you say this bit. Sorry.
From Scotland, Tableau Public Ambassador, BI Specialist at JLL, last year's Iron Viz champion, it's Chris Westlake.
I get very excited on this stage. Next to Chris is first-time judge, Data Viz consultant, a co-founder of the Data Viz Society, and co-author of a new book about dashboards. It's Amanda McCulloch.
Wait a minute. Andy, that book sounds familiar, isn't it? Your book as well?
It might be true. I, too, co-authored the same book, Dashboards That Deliver. It's coming out in September. You can pre-order it now. But it's not.
I think that's a little cheeky. Let's meet our final judge. From Cleveland, Ohio, it's 3-time Suarez, 2-time judge, and 1-time principal solution engineer. It's Mark Bradbourne.
Mark, welcome back to the judges' table. How are you all feeling?
It is great to be back, Andy. I will tell you what, the judges are very confident this year that 2 things are going to happen. One of these 3 amazing contestants is going to win Iron Viz, and the second one is that everyone in this room is going to wish Chris Westlake a happy birthday at Data Night Out.
Happy birthday, Chris. We don't have time for a song, unfortunately. Happy birthday, Chris.
Now, we're already 2 minutes into our build, so we've got quite a bit of catching up to do. It looks like we're already onto colors and themes.
Yeah.
Let's check in with Morag. How did Katherine do that so fast?
Yeah, so Katherine's using the new custom themes with the 2025.1 release. It allows her to quickly apply colors and fonts across all her workbooks, saving precious seconds in this build.
That's right, every click counts, and custom themes is not just for our Iron Viz contestants. All of you in the audience can use this feature to save time and bring in your corporate branding into your dashboards too.
Yeah, that was a highlight of Devs on Stage last year, and here it is in the product. Now, as I'm looking on the Vizes, I can see Bo's making progress already with his background story. So, Clara, tell us about Bo's starting
Yeah, absolutely. So as all the data fan knows, Bo has this artistic eyes and put really great cares in terms of selecting colors and fonts and all the design elements. So you'll see many across this whole build, the splat icon, the navigation bars, and yeah, just Bo's signature style. So this cloud icon is not only, visually appealing, it has this Bo signature style, but also serving a purpose. So every single cloud character you see right there is a cue for all of us to interact with, to have fun, to explore with the visualization. So later on, you'll see how this cloud character really take every single one of us here on a data journey.
Cool.
Nice one. And speaking of images, Maura, can you tell us about the half a plane that was just on Katherine's screen?
Yeah, Archana, we couldn't afford a whole plane. What Katherine's doing here, however, is taking inspiration from survivorship bias. Now, make some noise if you've heard of survivorship bias before. For those of you who don't know, during World War II, statisticians were looking at planes returning from combat to find out what areas they should reinforce. What they worked out was that they should reinforce the areas not damaged, because those were the planes that could still fly back. Now, Katherine's taken inspiration from this, and she's applying this schematic design throughout her whole dashboard.
That's amazing. Let's check in with Ryan and Brianna. What tell us about Ryan's first steps, perhaps how he's done data prep for this?
Yeah, so I think we've all played with this data, and we know it's a pretty big data set. So we used Tableau Prep to kind of reduce the level of data that we were working with and really focus our story, while also building in scaffolds for timelines and also giving our airports a nice state friend. So we cleaned up the data and focused our story using Tableau Prep.
All right, amazing.
And Maura, can you tell us more about Katherine's data preparation process?
Yeah, so Katherine used
actually, Maura, wait a minute. Clara, is this a makeup tutorial? Is this eyelash time?
Like lashes.
I know, it does look like eyelashes, but not any lashes. Those are data lashes. They're long, they're dramatic. Every single one of them telling a data story. Every single bar there, it represents each month. And all together, you can just see this time trending, overall, super intuitively. So the official name for it is a radial chart. So it wraps the data in a circle instead of straight lines. So it's really great for showing the data with large volume without taking too much spaces, seeing the patterns, and more importantly, it just gives you this visual punch without losing the clarity.
Thank you, Clara. Now,
wow.
Now, Brianna, we're more than 5 minutes into the build, and we've not yet seen a chart from Ryan. This is Iron Viz, remember?
Oh, don't you worry, Archana. What Ryan is building is a choose-your-own-adventure dashboard. So to me, that means high parameterization, a lot of moving parts, really dynamic. So what we're doing, we're making sure that all of our parameters, all of our calculations, all of our actions are gonna line up properly so this dashboard works as we expect it to. In fewer words, we're setting up all the dominoes, but stay tuned. We're gonna knock them all down, and it's gonna go really fast at the end. So keep an eye on us.
There's a Viz. Actually, could you imagine if somebody just did a text-based dashboard at Iron Viz? That would be like...
I think it would cause a lot of drama.
it would be a moment. Next year,
move.
I dare you to do it next year. Judges, let's check in with you. Amanda, we're seeing a variety of different approaches to visiting the data. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think it's interesting seeing how the different visualizations are taking shape, but especially the ways in which they're bringing in these more creative radial charts, for example, that might sacrifice some degree of visual precision when you're trying to make comparisons, but at the same time really draw our eyes in and are eye-catching. So I'm curious to see how they end up actually getting into the big
Amanda, I'm going to interrupt because I think we need to sound the klaxons.
Yeah, the pie chart klaxon.
We're seeing pie charts on screen. Morag, what's behind this decision?
Yeah, Archana, so Katherine knows visual design best practices inside and out. But this is Iron Viz. We're here to break the rules, and Katherine has done this in an extremely deliberate way to change, to tell a story with her data. So here, she's actually doing this almost acrylic pour effect with her maps layers, where she puts one layer on top of the other. For those of you pre-gaming for data night out tonight, feel free to make a drinking game out of this for each maps layer she adds in. I got to about 6 before I lost count.
6 shots? Get
6
the party
shots, easy.
started.
Yeah.
Now, if you're looking at the Vizzes today and are inspired by them, you can also check out the qualifier entries that got our contestants live on stage here. Andy, do you know where they can find those?
Make sure you can go tomorrow to the Viz Gallery in Data Village. It's part of the community area, and go and see the amazing Vizzes and a whole host of other incredible work from Tableau Public. Make sure you check it out.
Now let's go ahead and check in with Ryan and Brianna. Can you tell us about the map that he's building out now?
Of course. So this is the very beginning of our geographical analysis we're going to do. A lot of the story we want to tell is from the bird's perspective instead of the plane's perspective. So what we wanted to do was focus our attention both to United States, but also states that these birds migrate through. In a moment, you'll see some airports pop up on there as white dots. Those are important to keep in mind because birds are likely to get hit by planes upon their takeoff and landing. So as we plan our migration, we really want to keep in mind where those airports are.
Thank you, Brianna.
Fantastic. Mark, let me ask you a question. What are you thinking of the different approaches to the geospatial data here?
So, I mean, when you talk about geospatial data, a lot of new developers will fall into the trap of, oh, I've got geographic data, I got to put it on a map. And in this instance, the way that Brianna's described it, it sounds like it's going to make sense. We're going to have to wait and see how it bakes out. But sometimes you don't actually need a map when you're talking about geographic information. There's other avenues in which to put that down on the screen.
All right, that's great. Actually, and Chris, we're almost halfway through. So actually, can we have some Iron Viz energy? They've made it to halfway. Yes. Thank you. Oh, so good when you do that. Right. Birthday boy, what's it like? What's it like halfway through? You know, what was going through your mind last year when you were 10 minutes through?
Honestly, it's kind of a sense of blind panic. You're 10 minutes through kind of the fastest 20 minutes of your life, and you've come out on stage, you've heard all this energy, all this noise, and then things kind of start to go a bit quiet, and you sort of get into a zone, you wonder what's going on, so keeping that noise up, I think, would really help kind of keep these guys going.
All right, love it.
Let's hear that. Let's now check in with Bo and Clara. Earlier we were seeing kind of an orange, yellowish color scheme. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, this going back to Bo has this artistic eye and really intentional about a color. So he handpicked 5 different colors for this dashboard. And it's very intentional. Every single one of them carry its unique meaning throughout the whole build. And not only that, not only he chose the color for the style, but also for the accessibilities, for the contrast. So I think that's just a really good example. A beautiful design can be built.
Nice.
And I just want to call out, are we seeing even more pies than what
yes.
Katherine had?
Well, yes, again, Bo is intentional. And again, I feel like now we are not Iron Viz, it's Pyron Viz now, right? It's all pie, and we're trying to make the point. So Bo picked a pie chart very intentionally, and he chose it in a way that avoid the common pitfall that people might run into when using a pie chart. It was like too many slices or too many colors. So Bo used it in a very kind of focused and simple way. He's only using it to highlight the 2 key parts of the messages. And also, plus, secretly, Bo just loves pie charts. I guess it's not a secret anymore after
Who's
today.
a pie chart fan?
Yeah.
Let's hear
it. Who's not a pie chart fan? Who's not really bothered? Yeah, right, all right.
Let's check in with Brianna, because while we were checking in with Clara, we missed kind of like a shooting star visualization on screen. Can you tell us more about that
so part
one?
of our geographical analysis of our migration, we parameterized our origin and our destination. And what we can do with Tableau is do make point, make line, make buffer, and intersect all together to show this beautiful shooting star effect across the country as we make our migration. What you're going to see on the screen right now is kind of a variation on a subway stop type of chart. Because sometimes you don't need to bring the whole atlas, you just want to see the subway stops along the way. This is going to help us focus our message and also show us kind of the dangers along the way as we go across our migration.
It's great. And Morag, I can see we've got a background image and some of the titles and data to storytelling coming up, but there's some strange graphics behind the text on the title. What's happening there?
Yeah, so this is Iron Viz. Every second counts. every pixel counts. So what Katherine has done to make the best use of her dashboard is to put the bars and the lines behind the text to save space. She came to this on her own with her own innovation, but we found out later that this is commonly used by John Burns Murdoch of the Financial Times as well.
Nice one.
Amazing. Now, I've got 7 minutes. You know, there's a secret to tell you. There's something I've never done on the Iron Viz stage.
You've saved it for 8 years. What's that now?
Yeah, take a selfie. Would you all give me some energy? I want to take a selfie for social media.
Let's do it.
Let's give me a big Iron Viz. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Yay! All right. Amazing. Thank you. Right, I'm just going to put that on social media. Is that all right?
We have a whole show to keep going. Kids these days on their phones. Come on now.
I'm sorry.
We missed a lot while we were taking that photo. Bo, let's go to Bo. Clara, can you tell us about the bar charts that we have on screen now?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's actually not your ordinary bar chart. That's called marginal histogram. So just as name suggests, it's like histogram played alongside the main chart. It's like giving your main chart a little bit like psychic, you know? Like giving your audience a little bit of context without really distracting them from the main chart. Just like you see how Bo did right here. We have 2, one at the top and then on the side, on yearly level, on a monthly level. So it's just a really smart way to kind of give this additional insights to your audience without distracting them from the key messages.
All right,
Clara.
Brianna, I see we're into background image time. Did I see some illustrations as well? Where's Ryan up to?
Yeah, I told you things were going to start happening really fast as we start to knock down the dominoes, and now we're starting to watch them fall. What you're seeing is actually an illustration that Ryan created with a hack that I think is brilliant. What we were able to do was host this online so we can pull it in through a URL object. So that allows us to pull the entire background in and create this immersive dashboard and then float all of our visuals over the top. Now, it is a bit of a tiled floating controversy, but in this case, I think floating through the air gives us a nice reason to use a floating container.
Love it.
Thank you, Brianna. Now, let's go ahead and check back in with Morag and Katherine. Can you tell us more about the Viz that Katherine's building right now?
Yeah, so we're about to enter the danger zone, but you're in safe hands here. What we're about to see on screen and what Katherine's about to build is a McCindle innovation. She's creating this searchlight on a satellite image, and she's doing it by layering a transparent shape on top of the satellite imagery to give this almost aerial photography effect. Again, it's part of her design methodology, giving this whole schematic approach to things as well.
Great. Nice. Danger zone. Yeah. We should all go to karaoke together tonight and sing Highway to the Danger Zone. I'm in. Anyone in? If you're in, I'll be there. At least one person. Marcella, we can go do that song together. Amanda, are you being blown away? What are you seeing that's amazing you?
You know, I really love seeing the ways in which each of the different contestants is using a different navigation approach. So you see that over here with Ryan's visualization, he's using, I think, dynamic zone visibility. And then on the middle, you see another approach where you have the tabs that are normally happening in our dashboards, and then stories for Bo. And so seeing the various ways we can actually navigate through a workbook is a really nice contrast across these 3 different contestants. And I'm excited to see how the storytelling part comes together.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's check in with Mark. You look really focused there. What's standing out to you?
I was going to say, right now what's standing out to me looks like 16,000 marks on Bo's screen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Clara, why is there so many marks on? What was going on there? All the data?
Yes. So, well, unfortunately, I cannot tell you, Andy, because that's a secret. All I can say at this moment is it does something to do with animation. So animation is the very first thing that Bo developed for this build, and really didn't change that much throughout. This speaks to Bo's vision of let the data speak to every single one of us. I personally just look forward to this animation so much. So yeah, later on you will see how Bo really let animation do the work and just let the data speak to every single one of us here.
Yeah, animations are Iron Viz staple at this point, right?
Yeah, they've been successful in the past. Chris, down to the last 2 minutes. Were you just plain sailing, coasting into the end last year?
How are they feeling?
This is where it gets really tense. You've got ideas of all the other things that you want to pull in, and you're trying to kind of prioritize in your head. And for me, this is where the relationship with the Suarez really comes into its own. Kind of JP, my Suarez last year was brilliant at keeping me grounded, telling me what ideas I was trying to throw on there were just ridiculous and wouldn't add anything. So yeah, I hope they're listening to their Suarez's and the ideas that they're putting out, and yeah, I'm excited.
All right, amazing.
Yeah, let's take a moment to thank and celebrate our Suarez's because they're putting in the work as well. They've been with our contestants for a month.
Mark, what's your reflections now? You've been judging it a while.
It's amazing year after year, data set after data set, how we are continually impressed on the different directions, the different creativity, the different innovations that folks bring to the stage every year. It's honestly why I beg to come back and do this every year, because it's just such a special moment, and this is the best seat in the house.
And you've been around for a long time. Do you think you could hold a candle to these guys on stage?
You know, I've entered the feeder competition a couple of times, and maybe next year I should go up on stage and go against you and Archana.
Oh.
Back to the contestants. Let's see how they've got 40 seconds to go. We're into the final minute. Amanda, any final reflections?
There's so much happening in this last minute, and I just am dumbfounded by the. Did it stop? Oh shit!
What? What? Are you done?
Katherine was done first, I think, then Ryan.
Ah, that's done already. What is this? Is Bo gonna get? Wow! They're all finished. Well, keep going for 8, 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you enjoyed that and you want to go on social media, don't forget to use the hashtag Iron Viz. Please share your thoughts, whether you're here or watching on demand. Thank you all for joining on demand as well.
Now, I don't know about you, that flew by, but
so
they were
fast.
finished early. And now, with all these new features coming out, with custom palettes, custom themes, Iron Viz could be 15 minutes next year.
I mean, that social, that API stuff, I think we saw this morning in devs on stage, it's like a 5-minute build.
It'll be a great show. Now, while we can all rest easy, it's not yet over for our contestants. They now each have 3 minutes to present their vizzes. Going first is Ryan.
Today is an exciting day for me. I'm going on a trip that I've looked forward to all year. I'm from Canada, so I'll be leaving the snow and the cold behind for a sunny migration down south. That is, if I can avoid getting hit by a plane. Bird strikes can be a serious issue for humans, but they're a deadly encounter for us birds. Every day in the United States, 30 birds are struck by planes on average, and it gets even worse during our migration seasons. To better understand what we face every year, let's choose our own adventure and take a closer look at the migration paths for 3 of my friends, the chimney swift, the western meadowlark, and the common nighthawk. Let's put ourselves in the shoes of the common nighthawk. As you can see in the bar chart, over 60% of the strikes for this species have happened in the late summer when they migrate. In fact, they have one of the longest migration paths of any North American bird. Looking at the map, they gathered throughout the Midwest United States before taking a single route across the Gulf to South America for the winter. Let's zoom into this map now and plan our migration trip. Buffalo is the closest American city to my home, and it's close to where nighthawks gather. So let's start our trip at Buffalo Niagara International Airport. Next, we pick our destination. Now, as a nighthawk, my goal is to cross the Gulf, and a great place to do that is in sunny Florida. So, like a true snowbird, let's fly to Fort Myers at Southwest Florida International. Now we can view our travel path from Buffalo down to Fort Myers, and on the right, we can see that we'll pass near 11 different airports. But I need more information on timing. So for that, let's look at our strike report. There's been 80 strikes historically on this same path. And in the heat map on the right, we can see the hotspots at each airport. Our goal is to avoid the hotspots by finding safe windows of travel between them. The first part of our journey isn't too concerning, but as we move south, it gets more dangerous. There are windows in August so that we can pass through Savannah and Daytona Beach, and then flying through North Florida in early September should have us in the clear until Fort Myers. But look, there's a nice window in late September so we can arrive safe and sound. But this path is just one of over 4 billion every year. We may have been lucky, but since we started our show today, statistically, one more bird has been struck by a plane. With increasing human air travel and bird populations, this is a problem that isn't going away. So, what can people do? Data is fundamental to develop mitigation strategies for bird strikes. In fact, we just used it to help me migrate safely. Since 1990, there's been over 240,000 reported strikes. But according to the FAA, there is still a need for more reporting. Together, we all know the power that data can have. And together, we can thank you. Together. Together, I love it. Together, we can promote quality strike reporting in the aviation community that will build a better data foundation that can help more birds, like me, find our flight less traveled. Thank you.
All right. Congratulations, Ryan. That was awesome. Mark, do you have a question for Ryan?
I do. Ryan, like a lot of old school Tableau people, this is one of those data sets that we've played with. But usually when I've played with it, I've gone from the airplane's point of view, the pilot's point of view. What inspired you to go from the bird's eye view?
Yeah, I think with any data set, there's always multiple stories that you can tell. When I first got this data set, the story that jumped out to me the most was the human cost and looking at how aviation has become safer as strikes have increased. But a less apparent story is the bird's perspective. And the reality is it's not safe for birds, right? 30 every day, and the cost to them is almost always death. So the story here ultimately to me is about balancing humanity and nature. And I wanted to challenge us all to think about strategies that can benefit both birds and humans.
Excellent job, Ryan.
Next up to present is Katherine.
In 1905, the Wright brothers recorded the first ever bird strike while flying over a cornfield. Over a century later, we're still facing the same issue. We all remember the miracle in the Hudson when Captain Sully safely landed the plane on the river, after an engine failure. The cause? A flock of Canada geese. So how big is this issue? Let's look at the data. Reported strikes have been rising through the years, except for a small dip during COVID. The most commonly struck species is the mourning dove, and the most commonly hit parts are the nose, radome, and windshield, all at the front of the plane. But when we filter for strikes causing significant damage, the story changes. These are now dropping. The main culprits become gulls, Canada geese, and even white-tailed deer. And the most vulnerable part? The engine, not the nose. Let's have a look at our damaged cockpit now to explore mechanical failures in more detail. Here we look at how damage affects each part of the plane. Pink shows the percentage of strikes affecting that specific part, yellow shows damage to the part, and orange shows significant damage, with the number in the middle showing the absolute value. Now let's press play and watch how this has evolved from 1990 to 2023. Back in 1990, 1 in 4 reported strikes hit the engine, with many causing major damage. Lights had the highest likelihood of damage when struck, but their impact was minimal. As we go through the years, we see that the engine consistently remains the biggest issue, with the propeller also popping up as something to watch out for. Once we hit 2016, though, you'll see that it becomes a lot less bright, our damaged cockpit, which is a very positive sign. But despite these positive improvements, Captain Sully once said, the most effective way to prevent strikes is to keep bird attractants away from airports. We'll now enter our danger zone now to get a better understanding of this. 94% of wildlife strikes occur within 5 miles of an airport, so airport surroundings play a massive role. If we click on an airport here, we can map out its 5-mile danger zone. Airports near bodies of water, landfills, parks, and golf courses create the perfect conditions for birds and other wildlife. Let's take a look at Denver International. It's surrounded by dry, open fields, which should make it the perfect example of an airport managing risk well. Horned larks, however, love these conditions. The good news, these little birds rarely cause any damage. Compare this to JFK, which sits right next to a wildlife refuge. Not sure who decided on that one. Who signed off on that? So reported strikes are rising, but damage is falling. This could be due to better reporting, better planes, or hitting smaller wildlife. And if you're flying home after this, once you're cruising, relax. The danger zone is behind you.
Congratulations, Katherine. Well done. I'm going to come to you, Chris, for a question.
Katherine, that was amazing. I know that during your build, which was incredible, by the way, we heard from Morag about your use of quite a few features. She focused on your use of map layers and that new one that I can't remember the name of.
Dynamic zone visibility? No?
No.
Custom themes.
Custom themes. Thank you, Archana. I'd love to know if there were others kind of tucked away in there. I spotted a couple, but I was wondering if there were any that you'd like to shine a light on.
I think one of the features I used was a feature that's a bit underused by me anyway, the pages shelf, and that was to add animation to my damaged cockpit. And, for the charts at the side of my damaged cockpit, I wanted to show incrementally each year so that we could focus on the year in question. And to get the history on there, I had to scaffold the data with another data source.
All right.
Thank you, Katherine. And finally, Bo.
On behalf of our cast and crew, I'd like to thank you all for flying with us on Iron Viz Flight 15, where the local time is about 4:43 p.m., and it's 60 degrees and cloudy. All right, raise your hand if you flew here. Yeah, me too. Did you download some podcasts? Mm-hmm. Did you check a bag? Mm-hmm. Did you think about birds? All right, yeah. If you're not up on this stage, I would not believe you. All right, so in 2009, United Flight 1549 struck a flock of geese and made an emergency landing on the Hudson River, the Miracle on the Hudson. That unlikely event sparked a new era of aviation reforms. Let's explore how that moment reshaped air safety and why we can all feel a little safer heading home. First, let's look at wildlife strikes by year. That's actually kind of a disconcerting graph, isn't it? Wildlife strike reports have surged since 2009. I see a lot of you on your phones right now. Are you searching for train tickets from San Diego? All right, well, let's flip our parameter to damaging strikes instead. And when we do that, we see that the trend reverses. Despite more reports, serious incidents are down. So what explains that discrepancy? Flight 1549 was brought down by Canadian geese. Alongside other large species like deer and vultures, they've been a top target of safety efforts. Filtering for just the top 10 damaging species prior to 2009, we see a flat trend. And yes, those red slices within the pies that are indicating serious damage, those are getting smaller and smaller over time too. Because yes, These circles are pie charts. And that little vertical slice that you see within them is the tiny, tiny share of incidents that actually cause serious damage. So when we filter to just those serious incidents across all species, the trend is even more clear. Although reports have gone up, that is mainly due to less damaging species. And see, the graph doesn't move. As we see, those species almost never cause any serious damage, showing us that the FAA's targeted approach to mitigating danger is working. So to help put our risk in perspective, in 2023, there were 33 collisions between an animal and a plane that caused substantial damage, but more than 16,000 that didn't. And the FAA handled more than 16 million flights that year. And as a further bit of good news, none of those 33 serious incidents happened here in San Diego. Since the miracle on the Hudson, the FAA has focused safety efforts on the right species, and it's working. More robust data, along with lower risk to all of us, sounds like a great success to me. I'll leave you with a quote from Tableau visionary and former Iron Viz finalist Kelly Martin, who passed away in 2019. "Beauty is meaningful design. It's a combination of best practices and creativity, of laying out your story and managing the interplay between simplicity, clarity, and efficiency." This little splat icon you see in my progress bar at the bottom here is an homage to Kelly's pioneering work with this data sets. So as you leave Iron Viz today, think of those who've inspired you. And if you can, let them know the difference they've made. Thank you.
Thank you, Bo. Thank you, contestants. Amanda, have you got a question for Bo?
Bo, I think you absolutely live up to what you shared from Kelly around creating something that balances beauty and efficiency and simplicity. And we all know that getting to a simple visualization actually takes a lot of time and effort. And I'm curious where you draw inspiration from and how you decide what inspiration to leave on the cutting room floor as you prepped for Iron Viz.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Amanda. So, you know, as Clara said during my build, everything we've done here is really intentional. And you know, anytime you're working on a project like this, the things that get left on the cutting room floor are going to be the less compelling visualizations, the things that you feel like are not contributing to your big story. But one thing that just couldn't leave this build for me is the importance of acknowledging how all of us stand on the shoulders of the people who came before us. I tried to capture a little bit of Kelly Martin's spirit today because she, and so many of you, have influenced me. This isn't just my project today, because when I look out in this crowd, I see so many of the faces who've helped me get here, and I hope you all see yourselves in this work too.
Thank you, Bo.
All right, well, judges, now, judges, you have your hard work to start, so do start your deliberation. But while they're doing that, Archana, is this a special Iron Viz?
It's a very special Iron Viz. It's our 15th show.
Yeah, that is amazing. We've done 15. I'm gonna go downstage. Is that all right?
Okay, I can't join you. I've got these nice shoes.
Well, I've got these crazy shoes. I'll probably be fine. Right. So there's been 14 previous Iron Vizes, which means 14 times 3, 42. About 42. 42 previous finalists and winners of Iron Viz. And I'm wondering how many of them we have in the crowd today. If you're a previous Iron Viz winner or finalist, please stand up now. Here we are. Look at this incredible stuff. These are the behemoths of Iron Viz. And I want you all to just give a huge applause to the contribution they've made to State of Fam and storytelling. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Now, I want to go and interrupt the judges for a moment. Are you busy, judges? You got a moment?
Yeah, we're busy?
Can I? No, I'm okay. Don't show me. Don't show me. But I'll just interrupt you and get a reflection on what you've seen today. Mark, tell me anything or what you think about the analysis from the contestants.
So it's always amazing, right? And I always say that. But this particular Iron Viz really, for me, highlighted the fact that the human influence when we talk about analysis is really important. simply for the fact that a lot of the time they were actually analyzing the data that wasn't present. And that context, like, I don't know that we're going to capture that anytime soon, but I'm just glad that there are folks still doing the thing and, you know, adding that human element to this art of data visualization.
Love it. Love it. Thank you. And Amanda, as a design legend, tell me your thoughts on the design you've seen on stage.
Design legend is kind
You are.
Looking at the designs across these different presentations, I was just tallying how many different chart types I saw.
Mhm.
And there's more than a dozen, and I probably undercounted, across these different submissions. And I think that one of the things that strikes me is that they balance practical, like seeing the bar chart, with some of these more innovative radial type graphics. And they bring in and localize things for us, like Bo focusing on what happens in San Diego. So I love seeing all of those very deliberate design decisions and the creativity.
Cool. Thank you, Amanda. And finally, Chris, you're about to lose the trophy, but until you do, reflect on the storytelling.
The storytelling in Iron Viz is always the part that I find kind of the most gripping. I think we've seen 3 amazing dashboards and we've heard 3 amazing stories. In the world that we live in, a world that's kind of dominated by discussions around AI and agents, it's really great to hear those stories. As humans, we can read statistics, we can listen to numbers, but it's the stories that really make us feel something.
Love it. Thank you, guys. Thank you, judges. Back to work.
Andy, you want to leave the judges alone so they can focus on making their decision?
Yes, I'll do that.
Join me back on stage. Now, before our judges make their decision, our Suarezes have 30 seconds to make the case on why their contestants should win. So, Brianna, why should Ryan win Iron Viz?
An Iron Viz is someone who sees the world a little bit differently. They bring a creative vision, an unexpected story, and they challenge our perception of what the data actually means. All of our stories on the stage today talk about how the FAA data has made flight safer for humans, but our analysis showed that this danger still persists for birds. In Ryan's Choose Your Own Adventure dashboard, we helped 3 species of bird migrate through dangerous skies home safely. We did this through longitudinal data, really inventive geographical data, and most importantly, we didn't use any pie charts. By giving our data a bird's eye view, we're able to showcase my contestant, Ryan Suarez, who is prepared to now soar over the competition to win.
Like it, it's good.
That was some fighting talk from Brianna. Morag, let's step it up. What's your case for Katherine?
What is insight without action? That is the question at the heart of this year's Tableau Conference and what drives Katherine's story. She led us through history, first with the Wright brothers, then with survivorship bias, and then right to the present day and modern day aircraft safety measures. But she took us further, and she created a visualization for assessing airport safety and airstrike threats. And she put us right in the pilot seat with her gauged visualizations and with her unique spotlight innovation. But if her powerful storytelling isn't enough, if her creativity and innovation with the searchlight and the chart legends isn't enough, if her meticulous schematic designs are not enough, then think on this. Your vote could tip the scales for an open bar at a Scottish wedding.
Thank you.
2025 Iron Viz champion, Bo McCindle.
Woohoo!
The emotional argument there from Morag. Now, Clara, why is Bo your Iron Viz champion?
I've been waiting for this moment. Okay, so for this special occasion like this, I actually wrote a poem. And here it goes. Story, design, analysis 2. Bo crushed all the things a great Viz should do. He let us do data with heart as his guide, even used pie chart with nothing but pride. From bird strike report to Hudson that day, he showed how the FAA paved a safer way. So judges, no pressure, but let's be real. Bo's Iron Viz champ, let's seal the deal.
I am feeling the heat from the Suarez. Thank you very much. But you all have a small job to do as well. We need your help to choose the fan favorite. And that's whether you're here in San Diego or watching us live at home.
That's right. We'll give the voting instructions in just a second. But first, the terms and conditions.
Yeah, you're going to be able to get 1 vote per person. Standard text messaging rates apply according to your network cellular provider plan. And Poll Everywhere won't charge you for any text responses.
Voters will not incur long-distance texting charges, though other charges may apply. If you're based in the US or Canada, text your vote to 22333. And if you're based anywhere else in the world, text your vote to +1 747 444 3548.
If you want to check the Vizzes out before you make your vote, they will be on Tableau Public after the end of Iron Viz. Voting is open until 10 a.m. tomorrow. That's April the 17th.
So, if you think Ryan should win, text
Ivy Ryan, IVRYAN.
If you think Katherine should win, text
Ivy Katherine, IVKATHRYN.
And finally, if you think Bo should win, text
IVBO, IVBO.
Voting is now open!
Woo! The winners will be announced here in San Diego at the Vizzies Award Session, and that's happening at noon on Thursday at Stage 5 in the Community Pavilion.
And if you're watching at home, the Vizzies you can watch on demand on Salesforce Plus at 3 p.m. Pacific, and we'll also be announcing the winner on Tableau's socials.
Yes. Now, one last thing to do. Did you also know there is a parallel Iron Viz contest just for students, Student Iron Viz? This year, we gave all students access to the Data Plus TV IMDb dataset, and they blew our minds. And we want to give the 3 winners their moment in the spotlight. So, Iron Viz Stadium, I need you to give a huge round of applause as we bring on the Student Iron Viz winners. It's Fortune Uwa, Ben Pierce, and Nihishin Shah. Go.
Hello, folks. Welcome to the Iron Viz stage. Let's start with you, Fortune. What was your key takeaway from your entry?
Thank you, Archana. You know how a friend recommends a show and says, just wait for that one episode, it gets so good? That was what inspired my scatter plot. I wanted to help people who viewed my visualization find episodes that stood out or that the fans loved most. And just beyond the data set, as someone who studies statistics right now, it's so easy to think of it as just numbers and models. But I wanted to flip that. So this was my way of showing that statistics can be creative, personal, and a great tool for storytelling.
Thank you, Fortune. And Ben, can you tell us if there were any unexpected insights from your visualization?
Yeah, definitely. One of the biggest surprises actually happened pretty early on. So I began by plotting the 2 shows against other series of the same genre. But when I then extended the scope of the data set to include all of television, I found that Breaking Bad's dominance was still reinforced, but I also found that Better Call Saul proved itself to be no slouch by any regards. So while Breaking Bad's still in a class of its own, the fact that its prequel has earned such a high level of recognition across all of television just proves a lot about what those 2 shows accomplished together.
Thank you, Ben. And finally, Yishan, can you tell us about the inspiration behind your entry?
Well, while I was working on my work, I watched Brooklyn 99 almost every day to gather some visual design ideas related to policemen and detectives. And for example, I put the police quotient line on the top and the bottom of my dashboard, and it not only makes my dashboard feel more like the policeman setting, but also attract the reader's attention. And for each of the board on my dashboard, I review a bunch of amazing works on Tableau Public to think about what kind of chart would be the best display for my data.
Thank you, Yishan. Let's hear it one more time for our Iron Viz Student Edition winners.
Well, I think they have a great future. You can go and see their entries in the Viz Gallery too in Data Village.
I think I'm ready to find out who the winner is.
I think everybody's ready to find out who the winner is. Judges, are we done? Oh, there it is, the Iron Viz envelope. Chris, please bring it on stage. Now, while Chris is bringing it on stage, don't forget at stake is a $15,000 cash prize with $11,000 charitable donation.
I want to take a moment to thank our judges, our Suarez's, and our contestants.
Yes, and I'd also like to thank, actually two thank yous. First of all, thank you to all the stage crew, the lights, the production team who do an absolutely amazing job for all these keynotes. Thank you. But also, thank you to every single one of you here at TC and watching on Salesforce Plus. It means a great deal to have you all with us, and we can't wait to do it again next year. Should we do it?
Let's do it.
Yeah, all right. Whew. I am delighted to tell you all that the winner of 2025 Iron Viz is Bo McCready!
You've just won $15,000, and $11,000 will be making its way to Girls Who Code. How are you feeling right now?
You know, Archana, there's no words for it. I've been seeing Iron Viz live for almost a decade now, and it feels impossible. Maybe it'll sink in a week or two.
All right. Don't forget, everybody, put your vote forward in the fan favorite. Watch the Vizzies tomorrow. But let's give them the moment in Spotlight. It's time to bring it on home. Until next year, keep vizzing. Thank you.